Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. We got a little colony here. This was a split. What happened, the queen that I installed is gone, but she's no longer in there, and we do have some queen cells in there. So what I'm going to do, and a lot of times I like to do this on camera to show you, to see, and the bees may not have been satisfied with their pheromones, so they superseded her, killed her, and have queen cells. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to find a queen that I believe is pretty good, and see if they will accept her over the queen cells. And we'll watch, and you'll be able to tell just by their actions whether they're going to accept her or not. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, I don't advise doing this. This is only for filming purposes, because there is a chance that you might lose your queen this way, but I'm just doing this just for the sake of people and being able to see. So what I done, I just laid my queen down, pulled the cork off the direct release side. I'm going to try to encourage her to walk out. Now, like I said, don't ever install queens like this. You're better off to put them in between two frames or on the bottom of your frame. Close your hive up. Let's see what happens here. They may not accept her. If not, we'll grab her, we'll put her back in the cage. And they do have queen cells, which means they may not take her. Let's see what happens. Well, you can always tell. If we can get her to walk out, there she goes. I blew on her just a little bit. Okay. I can now remove my cage and get out of the way. You can see her right there. Let's see how they do with her. Not sure at this time. They're checking her out for sure. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on her. We won't let them kill her. I don't advise doing direct releases like this, but we're doing this just for video purposes and to educate people to see what it looks like when they accept and when they reject the queen. And that's all we got to do is just watch. Now, in my belief, what I believe, if you got a good strong queen that has a lot of pheromone in them, they know she's a good queen, and they will instantly take her over those queen cells. Now, if they don't like her, she's weak, they know, the bees know. They know how well that queen is. And we'll just watch here and see how well she is. We'll watch them for a few minutes. I might have to put it on pause because it may draw the video out way too long. So far, so good. They're just checking her out. Now, you may wonder how, let's say, for instance, they check her out right here. This is my belief, just from what I've experienced. Okay, let's say that they accept her and they say, okay, she's fine, we like her. How does the other bees know? You know, the bees on the other frames. How do they know? Does every bee in the colony have to approach her and say, okay, we accept her? It doesn't work that way. If that was the case, one of the bees somewhere would find something wrong with her, I'm sure. Bees signal each other. You know, they fan the pheromones, they signal, they communicate with each other. These bees right here that's on her, I think will, in my opinion, will check her out and determine whether she's going to stay or she's going to die. And once they do, once they establish that connection, then I believe, in my opinion, and I just know this by experience, just from what I've seen. I go through hundreds and hundreds of hives because this is what I see day in and day out. They will signal to the other bees, letting them know that this queen is good and they want her. So it'll take them a while to judge her and to see whether or not they want her. And they'll be docile on her 1 minute, next minute they'll be balling her up, curling her tail up, trying to sting her, trying to heat her up and kill her in a ball. So this is always a good sign here. If we can see this, if you can see can you see it's hard to see out here in the sun if I'm focusing on the queen or not. Can you see them feeding her right there? See them with their mouth right against hers, they're feeding her. That is a good sign. They're kind of encircling her. You can see that. See how they're all around her. They're not being aggressive to her. Now, I've seen them do this too. I've seen them do this then the next thing you know, they're balling her. It's just a process. We'll just wait and see. So far, so good. The queen will submit. She'll pretty much just sit there because she's at their mercy. There's absolutely nothing she could do except fly away. She's getting a little bit more confidence. She's walking around a little bit now. And they're allowing her to. Let's just keep watching. So it looks good right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and set this down in the hive. And then I'm going to come back tomorrow and we're going to check and see how she's doing. We'll know by then for sure. Okay. Right here's the frame. You can see the supersedure cells right there. And there may be some up here, I'm not sure. They're not hashed out yet. So some of them are looking pretty thin on the bottom, so it's probably not long. So what I'm going to do, and this is usually how I do splits, now it'll reduce the number some in this colony, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this hive here in another location, and I'm going to come back and put this frame here. It has those queen cells. They're on a plastic frame, so I can't cut it. And you can, I mean, you might get away with it, but there's 3 there. I'm just going to let them ride out and let the best one win. Okay, I moved the queen right colony. What I did, I stepped them back and put her right here. So if you can recall that box and remember what it looks like, the white box that has the hardware cloth in front of it. This is actually, it's a plywood made box. It's an old box. So it's not a Vantech. So you remember what it looks like. So we'll come back to this colony tomorrow. We're going to check and see how our queen's doing. And right now this is kind of a cold day, windy. The bees aren't flying too good. So that will reduce the number of return foragers back to this colony. And I actually got to turn around the other direction because the entrance was facing that way. I got the queen cells, if you can see them down in there, I got them facing inward. I'm going to easily slide this down in here so I don't bump into them. I got enough room there. I'm going to slide that. There's an old frame there. And I'll go ahead and flip it around because some of the returning bees are looking for the entrance here. So I need to put a prop underneath of it to face it forward a little bit. Like I said, being a little bit chilly and cold, the bees aren't moving too much. That will reduce the number of bees because it'll actually, the ones that aren't moving too much in this colony by tomorrow, if it's cold next couple days, more bees will stay there. If you did this on a real hot day, you'd have more foragers coming back immediately, where this will slow them down a little bit and not so many will come back. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my feeder back on, and I'll come back tomorrow and we'll check and see how our direct release queen is. Okay, we're the very next day and we're gonna go into the SRA Founder. And I told you the way they's acting that they would accept her. And I had spotted her a second ago. Let me see if I can find her again. Right there she is. Looked like she almost flew off. She's walking around good. Hope I'm catching this on camera. She don't want to be filmed, that's for sure. See her right there in the corner, right there. She keeps going right there. Right there on the top. Right there. Right there in the corner, hiding. So, I'm going to put her back. She acts very nervous. And just to make sure you remember this box, you know I'm not tricking you to a different box. There's the same box with the hardware cloth on it. You know, study your bees. That's how you learn. You get out in your yard and you watch them. You just don't install a queen and walk off. You know, it pays sometimes to take a risk and a chance just to be able to learn, because the knowledge that you'll learn is far more greater than what that queen costs you if they happen to kill her, which you can still rescue her. But just what I showed you there, just watch out for those signs. You can tell. I got another video. It's got 14 million views on it about how they reject the queen. You can go check that video out. It's a pretty good one. So it's got a lot of good content on it where they actually balled the queen and they was killing her. And but you'll see the difference, huge difference. Go back and watch that video. I'll put it up in the upper right hand corner. And don't forget, if you would, check out my Homestead Hacks YouTube channel. Trying to get it built up. I don't mention it too much on here, but every now and then I like to just mention it so I can help get it built up. And don't forget, if you need bees, packages, beekeeping supplies, barnyardbees.com. We've got it all there. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.